Hey everyone, welcome back to Anthropology Daily. Today we have something super cool for you guys. We are going to compare and contrast two of the most mind-boggling archaeological discoveries to this date. Sima los Huesos in Spain and Rising Star Cave in South Africa. Both of these sites have given us incredible insights to human evolution, but the way these discoveries were made, shared, received are very, very different. So let's dive into it. Okay, let's start with how the research went down in each of these places. Sima de los Huesos is an ancient cave in Spain that is home to some of the oldest human remains ever found. The research here has been going on for decades, and they published a ton of stuff over the years. For example, they have sequenced DNA from the remains, and in 2017 published in Nature, a top-tier journal, that suggests that the bones could belong to an early form of the Neanderthal. That kind of research takes time and careful peer review, which is the standard in all science. Now, in the Rising Star Cave, that's a bit more recent. The discovery of Homo neanderthali in 2013 shook everything up. This one made a huge waves right away. Dr. Lieberger and his team got a lot of attention when they first published their findings in 2015. It was fast and they were all over the media. The team claimed that the bodies of Homo neanderthali were intentionally placed in the cave, which set off a big debate. Some critics were a bit skeptical on how quickly they released these results as well, but the team was pretty confident in their claims. Next, we move on to our next point: research critiques and reactions. Now, both projects had their fair share of criticism. With Sima de los Huesos, when they published their ancient Neanderthal DNA, some people questioned whether the DNA could have been contaminated. The team responded by doing more and more tests to show that the DNA was actually real. And they stuck to their guns, which helped the research hold up in the long run. On the flip side, the Rising Star Cave sparked even more controversy than that. They claimed that Homo neanderthali was deliberately burying their dead. That did not go over well with some other experts. Critics said that there wasn't enough evidence to back up such a bold claim. Dr. Berger and his team argued that the positioning of the bodies and the lack of scavenger damage made it most plausible that this was the explanation for it. It wasn't the most perfect explanation, but certainly got a lot of people talking. Now let's talk about how these discoveries were shared with the world. Sima de los Huesos didn't really make a big splash into the media until later on. The team mostly used traditional scientific journals like the Nature that I talked about before to share their work. So they reached an academic community, but the public didn't really catch on right away. Now, the Rising Star Cave was a totally different story. Dr. Berger and his team used social media to their advantage. They tweeted, they shared updates on Facebook, and even launched a crowdsourcing campaign to help with the dig. They got huge media attention very, very quickly from day one. It was all over the news, and they made a surge to engage the public directly. It was a different approach and definitely made their discovery a global talking point. It's pretty wild how the Rising Star was able to use social media and press conferences to get the world involved. You didn't just hear about the discovery, you were a part of it. That's a very new way of doing things and totally changed how people think about archaeology. But now let's talk about how the public understood it and the scientific accuracy of the whole thing. While both teams did a great job of getting the public excited, the scientific process behind each discovery wasn't always presented very clearly. With Sima de los Huesos, the research was thorough, but kind of stayed in the academic world. Not everyone outside the science world got the full picture of how rigorous this research actually was. Again, on the flip side, with the Rising Star, there was a lot of media hype. Sometimes the headlines were oversold that the team has actually found things when they didn't. For example, the idea of Homo neanderthali was intentionally burying their dead got a lot of attention, but some of the details, like whether this was truly a burial or just a fluke, got lost in all the excitement. It was easier for the public to get the idea of the discovery, but maybe not all the specifics of the research and the process. Next, we're going to talk about the integrity of all the research. Did it hold up the test of time? So, while Sima de los Huesos really earned the respect over a long period of time, the peer review process made sure that the research was solid, and every time more evidence came in, the peer review went over and over and over again. The findings were adjusted and refined until they were accurate. The academic community gave it a thumbs up because the research was thorough and validated by all the experts. The rising star cave, though, had mixed reception. Some experts were really impressed by the findings, especially the discovery of Homo nalandi, but others felt the team was too quick to jump to conclusions, especially with their behavior of these early humans. The media blitz didn't help. Some critics thought research needed more time in the peer review process. Dr. Berger and the team stuck by their findings, but it wasn't widely accepted at first. In the end, both discoveries have been huge, but they got there in very, very different ways. Sima de los Huesos was a slower burn with solid peer review research, while Rising Star Cave was a whirlwind of media excitement with some big, bold claims that still have people talking to this day. Both methods sparked important debates, though they have made us rethink what we know about human evolution. Both teams have changed the game for archaeology in their own way, whether it's through careful research like what we know and love in the archaeology world, or this new high-energy media campaign. They both push the boundaries of what we know and what we can expect in the future. Well, that's all for you guys today. I'll hopefully catch you in the next episode. Make sure to like and subscribe and follow the TikTok page.